Hi, welcome to Old Guys Gentlemen Flex Fountain Pens, episode number 45, and today what I'm going to be covering is the Franklin Christoph Model 31 Omnis with antique glass, also known as Coke bottle. It has an extra fine flex nib, and if you're a regular viewer of my channel, you probably noticed I did another Franklin Christoph review just maybe about a month ago, and it was of the Stabless Emerald Model 66. And when I went to buy that pen, I really was looking for this Coke bottle design. I don't know how you get these straight from Franklin Christoph. I think there's a lottery, but I'm not sure if you can get on the lottery, and it's kind of a mystery to me. And yet, I love the look of the plastic used in this pen. So anyhow, because I still like the Franklin Christoph, I got that Stabless, enjoyed it for a while, and then on eBay I see this seller who's selling one that I'm not even sure if it was ever used before. It doesn't look like it's been used. And so I got it. I had a flex nib in the other one, so I switched it out. This one had come with a broad nib, and that was nice, but I'm not a big fan of broad nibs, so I switched the broad nib over, put the flex in this pen, and that's the story of why I have this pen. And I just love the look of this pen. I don't know if you can see it, but there's just a nice, it kind of reflects a little bit of some of the stuff going on in the background, but it's kind of a Coke bottle green-blue hue to it that comes through. Anyhow, a little bit about the size of it. Uncapped, unposted, it is 5 1/8 inches long, which is just about long enough for my writing. I might like a little bit longer, but that's pretty good. If you post it, this sucker's huge. And I think it's the longest posted pen I've got. I got a couple other here. I think this is a really long one. This is a Montblanc 149. And it beats that out by half a nib. And my previous longest one was a Pelican M1000. And it's a tie. They're the same length. This one's huge, this one's huge. I like the counterbalance weight back here. A lot of people don't like that, so I'll probably write like this. But this works perfectly fine. It is rated as extra fine. Let's see if we can get a little bit closer here. It's rated as extra fine, but I get like a triple extra fine out of it. And when I talk about fineness ratios, or fineness, I'm talking about the thickness of the line. And what I use is Richard Binder's downloadable PDF that has the binder italics, or Binder, typical Western round nibs, typical Japanese nibs. Japanese nibs tend to be finer, an extra fine for Japanese nib in Western style is in between double extra fine and triple extra fine. So it's kind of the difference. So I use this and then cross-check it against these things over here for the different dimension widths of lines that you can make. And what I get out of this is something on the order of a triple extra fine, especially if I'm working with a light hand. Because it's a flex nib, it's not a vintage flex nib, but it does have the design on the nib there that allows it to flex. So it's a geometric feature of the nib that allows it to flex. And it's a little bit harder to flex. I would call this a medium flex, but I can go from triple extra fine to somewhere between broad plus to double broad. It's definitely a medium flex, takes some effort, but that's okay. If you're drawing on Tomoe River paper, it might be a little bit too much to get the flex, but on this Clairefontaine paper, it works great, and that's enough line variation for me. There is some feedback. I don't know if you can hear that, but It's not really bothersome, but it's not the smoothest kind of nib in terms of that. By the way, what I'm writing here is with diamine Kelly Green ink that you saw earlier, and my shameless plug of my TiltWell bottle holder. Check the responsiveness, and it's pretty good. Depending on. Actually, that's, I said sort of responsive. We'll upgrade that to totally responsive. It's a cartridge converter, so I suppose cartridges will work in here as well, and that works pretty well. I've read that you can put a little Vaseline on this and turn this into an eyedropper. Let's do a little bit of writing. Start that D over again. This nib could probably be polished just a little bit, because you probably heard that it caught in a few different places. But I'm pretty happy with this pen. So in summary, I'd like to say I really like the pen. I wish it was a vintage flex pen in here, but this gets the job done. And the coolness of this antique glass is just, I love it. I'm really glad I got this pen. So I hope you got some value out of that. Until next time, thank you for watching.